Have you heard anything at all from Laura?
Not a word, Dr. Weber.
Claudia, honey, I know how friends protect each other, and I don't want you to feel that you'd be violating any kind of a confidence here, but I do have to see her as soon as possible for her own sake, so if you know anything at all that you're not telling me.
Dr. Weber, I give you my solemn word of honor. I haven't seen or heard from Laura since the accident, and I'd certainly tell you if I had.
Well, all right then, hon, but if you should hear anything...
Yeah, I'll let you know the minute I do, and I'll tell Laura that I'm going to let you know. That's a promise.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I know how worried you must be. I know how worried I am about where she is. Anyway, I'll be in touch with you.
All right. Goodbye, hon. Scotty, thank you for coming over.
Come in?
Yeah, please. Have you heard anything?
No.
Well, I don't know where she is. I've tried every place I can think of, and it's as if she just vanished.
Do you think I really give a damn about that?
Why don't you come sit down and we can talk if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Scotty, I know this has been a very bad time for you. And I realize that Laura certainly hasn't helped matters any by running off without a word to anyone.
Yeah. Well, for as long as I've known Laura, she's never done anything to help matters. She doesn't care about anybody but herself. You know, she'd just as soon lie to me or you or anybody else if it's going to save her some unpleasantness.
Scotty, I know you're bitter, but it doesn't help anything to be angry.
Bitter? You're damn right I am bitter. And don't you tell me not to be angry, because anger is the only thing that I have got left right now.
I realize that. I know you feel betrayed, and I know that's humiliating. But please try to remember that you haven't had a chance to talk this out with Laura yet.
Talk it out with her? What's to talk out? I really don't care what her reasons are for what happened between her and Luke. The point is that she did it. You understand that? I mean, it's just inexcusable. There's no justification for what she did to me or to our marriage.
All right, but just to be fair about this, will you remember that you were the one who insisted on getting married? Everybody was against it. We all felt that she was too young and too emotionally immature. Your dad didn't want you to do it, Rick and I didn't want you to do it, and even the court gave their approval reluctantly. But you were determined, weren't you, Scotty? If you couldn't get married, you were going to live together, right?
So what? We loved each other. Well, at least I thought that we did, but as it turns out, you know, I was just like a stepping stone until something better came along.
I don't believe that for 1 minute, and I don't think you do either.
I don't really know what to believe anymore. A lot of illusions about marriage and fidelity, you know, and being honest with each other. Boy, you should have heard the promises that we made to each other, you know. But it's very easy to make promises when there is no intention of keeping them.
Scotty, I'm not trying to make an excuse for her. But, I do think maybe you're, reacting a little self-righteously, considering that you knew what you were letting yourself in for.
What do you expect of me, huh? How do you want me to act?
I expect you to go on being patient and understanding and grown up. Now, if you want to leave Laura, leave her. And if you really think this is the end of your marriage, I can't change that. But at least deal with it like a grown-up, not as for a little baby.
I don't think you really understand what's going on here. It's not just that my wife was unfaithful. You know, she was with another man that I thought was my friend. That's not it, you know. There's a hell of a lot more to it than that. I killed Luke because of Laura. Do you understand that? I killed him, Lesley. You asked me the reason why Laura is such a child is because she's been treated like one for so long. I mean, she has been so pampered and sheltered and told how immature she was until she's got it fixed up there in her own mind that she is not responsible for her actions. You understand?
Oh,
no, wait a minute. Let me just finish, all right? Now, I admit, I am just as guilty as anybody else. I mean, we all thought that she was going to grow up eventually and snap out of it, but she hasn't. You know, she's gotten older and older and younger at the same damn time.
She's only 18.
That is old enough to know the basics, you know, like telling the truth, being faithful to your husband.
Scotty, I can't excuse what's happened. But I can't believe it either until I hear it from Laura herself.
Oh, well, come on now. You're never going to hear it from her. You know what you're going to hear from her? A lot of half-truths, a lot of evasions, a lot of things like, I don't want to talk about it right now, you know, and don't pressure me, and I'll tell you when I'm good and ready. Stupid little excuses like that. Boy, you know, I should have taken her by the throat and beaten the truth out of her because she knew all along, right from the beginning, that it was Luke.
All right, now wait a second. I have stood here and listened to you tear her apart, but I think there are some things that, Scotty, you have to realize yourself.
What?
First of all, you... Wonderful timing. Perfect.
Hi, Les.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Listen, we just stopped by to give Amy a ride to the disco.
The disco at this hour?
Yes, it's a memorial service for Luke.
Oh, I forgot. She told me about it. Come on in.
Scotty, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were here.
That's all right, Jeff.
Hi, Scotty.
Hello? So you guys are going to a memorial service, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't see why there'd be any reason why I'd be invited, huh?
I'll get Amy. Amy! Jeff and Ann are here. They're coming.
How you doing, Scotty?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm about as well as anybody can be that's out on bail.
Scotty, I am so sorry about what's happened.
Yep, so am I.
Look, Scott, is there anything that I can do to help?
No, Jeff, everything that could have been done for me has already been done. Look, I have no message for Bobby, so I'll just see you later.
Hi, Dr. Beverly.
Hi.
Hi, are we bothering you? Can we come in for a minute?
No, please do. Hello, Beverly. How are you, Claudia?
I'm just fine, Dr. Beverly.
We were all worried about Laura, and we were wondering whether you've heard from her or anything.
No, I haven't heard a word, I'm sorry to say. Well, don't you have any idea where she might have gone? No, I haven't. Why don't we sit down? Believe me, Beverly, if I had any idea, I'd be there trying to find her. I just keep praying that she hasn't been in an accident of some kind.
I suppose you've tried calling all her friends.
All of them. I went right down the list. I don't know what to make of it.
Well, I guess she's too upset to come home, either here or to her own home.
I suspect that it may be something like that, yes. But in the meantime, I don't know whether to file a missing persons report or not.
Well, have you tried calling the police?
Oh, yes, we did that the next day.
What did they say?
They said it was too early to do anything. And they were also a little reluctant because, well, Laura has a small history of dropping out of sight like this.
It is such a shame. Well, what does Rick think about this?
Oh, I think Rick feels pretty much as I do, but, well, he's dealing with some problems of his own right now.
Monica, I can't go on like this indefinitely. I feel immoral about it.
Why? I mean, why, Rick? What difference does it make if Edward thinks that's his grandson who's going to inherit the Quartermaine funds? It's not harming anybody.
It is perpetuating a lie. Look, this should be dealt with. It should be dealt with now. The longer it is put off, the harder it's going to be on Edward when he finds out. And here is a man who has already had one serious heart attack.
And who has recovered from that heart attack. You have said so yourself.
What if something happens and our son does inherit that money?
Then we're going to have a very rich son.
No way. No way at all. Look what it did to Tracy and Alan. Now, I don't want our son anywhere near that family or that money.
You can't judge them by Tracy and Alan.
Tracy and Alan were raised by their parents. Now, I think in some part their parents are responsible for that. Sometimes I think it is too permissive.
Look, I want to be rid of this whole situation. I want it over and done with and put behind us so we can go on with the business of living.
I want our son living with us. That is part of it, and I don't want our son living with us as our stepson. He is our son.
All right. And it will happen, Rick. I promise you. But just one step at a time. Don't be in such a hurry to get things done. Come on. Come on. Let's just talk about our future for a while, okay?
That's what I thought we were doing.
No, I mean, the clinic, where we might go on a honeymoon. Things that affect just us.
Whatever affects us affects our son. Look, I am not about to have him grow up bearing the name of Alan. That's something we should discuss now, changing his name.
It always goes back to the baby, doesn't it? Can't we just talk about us?
The baby is part of us, part of our future.
Every single waking moment, Rick? Don't we get any time off? Time strictly for ourselves?
Of course.
Well, then let's talk